and then Rishishti Shrestha. Wow,
Yes, hi.
that's a beautiful name. Where are you from?
I'm from Nepal.
Wow, and are you in Nepal? Are you calling in from Nepal?
No, I'm in USA right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I've always wanted to go visit Nepal.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
it's beautiful.
Shall we wait
Give
a
them about
few
give
minutes?
them till 2:10 to get in. You may have people who were in some of the other sessions, and because I just opened it up early, and so that I would be here.
Thank you.
So if someone wants to chime in, from another session, they can, and then they may come in, during. So we'll, just mute everybody.
Well, you have a wonderful gathering of different speakers, Yvonne. This is such a beautiful, beautiful offering to the world. Yes. Thank you for doing it.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure. These women, they are just dynamic. And I mean, you say United Nations, and everybody was just, ready to join and do their part, do as much as they could. So.
Yes. I haven't had a chance to attend any of the other events yet of the other organizations. 2 weeks worth. This is the time for women to really gather from around the world. Yeah, one's making the difference, and I'm really glad that we're going to be able to talk about mindset today.
Yeah, I am, and I really appreciate you coming on and speaking about that. So much of what we have is the way you think. It's how you think. It's that thought process. And I've heard so many different iterations of people saying what they couldn't do, what they can't do. And much of it has to do with just that thought process.
Okay.
Here's another person. Yeah, she was just in the session with me.
Welcome, Lakina.
Lakina, can you just take your phone off mute? Take your speaker off mute and just, say hello so we make sure that you do have a voice connection.
Hello, ladies.
Okay.
How are you?
Doing
Hope everyone is doing well.
Thank you for coming.
Very good.
No problem. I am happy to be here with you this evening.
Where are you calling in from?
I am calling in from Washington, D.C. I represent an organization called Black Women Do Work.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I bet you're busy. This is a busy time for you.
Yes, it is.
That's a good thing. It means things are changing.
Yes, they are, and evolving.
Very good. Very good. We're just going to wait a few more minutes to give people a chance to come in from other spots.
Okay. Sorry about that. I had people sitting in the waiting room. I didn't realize.
All right. It's all good.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone. I hope you've been enjoying other workshops and talks from some of the many leaders we have joining us from around the world as attendees and as presenters. Everyone, I think, is a leader. Everyone here, you're showing up, trying to find what are other ways and better ways to do what you love to do. Okay, very good. I know, the little green button.
Yeah, I keep trying to watch it. And I had to open up that side, and I did that in the last meeting, and I think I had 10 people still, and then they started sending messages like, oh my goodness, sorry.
Welcome, Erica. Welcome, Lakina and Shirley. Yes. Where are you calling in from, Erica?
I am calling in, well, first and foremost, hello, Grand Rising. It is a beautiful sunny day out here in Sacramento, California.
Oh, Sacramento, you're not far from me then. Welcome to California. Welcome back.
Okay, right. For the fourth time. I love it so much I had to come back.
Oh, I know, especially in cold weather. But we're having a cold snap. We've been having, but it will warm up next week, they tell me.
Okay.
Okay, so I hope everyone came with paper, things to write on. We're going to be going through some processes today. This is a workshop. We are going to do some work so that you can get your work on track with the way you want it to be. Okay, so if you don't have it yet, please grab a glass of water, or personally, I have a cup of coffee, and get some paper and a pen or pencil, so you have the freedom to write. This isn't just about taking notes. It's really more, I want you to be able to gather your thoughts and to capture what comes up for you.
Okay, I think we can go ahead on and get started. And the others, this is being recorded, so they will be able to see the replay or chime in, at the moment they jump in.
Wonderful. So you'll do the introduction? Or telling
Yes, I will. Yes. Welcome you all. I would like to welcome everyone to the United Nations. This is our 65th convening on the status of women. And so this is our 65th year here in 2021. And we thank all of you for joining in. And this is the time of year. This is Women's International Women's Month. But this is the time of year that we really want to hear from women and understand the different issues that they're having, the successes, that they have made, over the past year, and also a gathering and time for us to come together and to build our networks and build up what we're doing, so we understand what one another are doing, how we can help, what we can do. And as you know, the United Nations is, all across the world. So we reach out, in everyone's area, and every corner of the world does not go untouched. And the UN Women have a strong presence in that. So you are part of that. And I want to thank all of you for joining us here. We have a treat for you in store. What we're going to do is, just as when coronavirus came in last year, it had us take a pivot. And we have to be agile and adaptable. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. You're going to get a double portion for the masterclass. And we're going to begin today. We'll have here on the Zoom, you're going to be speaking with Bailan Mahino, and she is the founder and CEO of Dreammaker Summit and WLA Global. And she'll be telling you a little bit more about herself. She is also the president over the San Francisco Bay Area for Women Leading Change Now, and we are your hosts for this summit. And when you leave this summit, you will be also given a link to our actual parallel event summit, the Insight that is going on right now. And therefore that's where we were talking about the different sessions that we were going to. All those are free to you, and they have all those speakers. They have replays, and you can go to those pages and look at replays. We're going to be going all the way to the 7th. The event started on the 15th. It will end on the 26th. So you will be able to hear speakers as they go through their different topics. And you can schedule yourself in for all the topics, or whatever topics are important to you. You can schedule in for, and definitely all the replays. And then you'll have a lot of sponsorship media is there. A lot of resources are there for you. Download, take advantage of this information. These women, these business owners, these individuals, these government agencies, what have you, they have made this information available at your fingertips. And they want you to take advantage of that. Reach out to them if you so choose to do. And you will find, just the most wealth of knowledge, right here that's been put in front of you. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Bailan Mahino, and she's going to take us through mindset. And that's the balancing of our mindset. And I'm not going to tell you anymore. I'm going to let her tell it and let her give you a treat and let her let you know exactly what she's going to be going over. So during this workshop, and it is a participatory workshop, feel free, you can turn your cameras on, you know, if you have the bandwidth, what have you, or you can leave them off if you feel more comfortable with that. And I think the only person that I like to all know that I can actually hear from everyone, Shirley, did we hear from you? Could you turn on your microphone and just say hello? We just want to make sure we can hear you. Okay. Well,
Okay.
yeah, we couldn't hear you, so you can be checking your audio, you know, while we're going on. So yes, because you know, Bailan will be throwing out some different questions, and you're going to want to be able to answer those questions. Okay, so we'll make sure that we're checking and working with Shirley to make sure that she can be able to ask the question if she needs to, or respond to a question. So
Okay.
Bailan, why don't you take it away?
Okay, there we go. Yes, this is going to be a workshop, so I hope everyone does have something to write with, and that you're in a comfortable space. Let me see. Okay, so Yvonne. Okay, I need to be able to share screen. My name is Bailan Mahino. Hello, everyone. I'm the founder of Global Dream Makers and WLA Global. My purpose here in this life is to create peace. And how do I do that? I create peace by helping you create your dream. So if you have a dream, maybe you don't know what your dream is. I know I didn't at one point, but if you have a dream or whatever you are dreaming of for your life, what we do is we help you to organize your life so that if you have a much better chance of having it happen. I created what is called the Dream Maker Matrix. And what it is it's really looking at how do you take inspiration, that which inspires you and lights you up, and how do you have that ripple out through all areas of your life. We have 5 main areas of life and that we look at, and then we go 6 levels deep. So when you understand how everything really connects, right? Perhaps you've heard about looking at life like a web, right? You touch one part of the web and everything else vibrates, right? It affects everything. That's what the matrix really does, help you see for your life. You make a change in one area, it ripples out to other areas. It ripples out into degrees of your particular area that you're focusing on. Today, we're going to be focusing on two of the 5. We're going to be focusing on mindset, and then I'm also going to go out into contribution, because what we're looking at is how is your mindset affecting your finances. Finances are in the area of contribution. So let me get my screen here. There we go. Don't need to share sound. This one. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Make it bigger. Okay, that needs to go smaller. And I just got rid of it. Sorry. Hold on. Let's make it bigger. So we're creating your life by design using the Dream Maker Matrix. And today we are going to start with mindset. Right. Okay, now I need to go to the next one. There we go. So give yourself the gift of this time, because this time, even if it's just an hour and a half, is going to really affect and impact the rest of your life, So really stay with us, turn off all your electronics, try to be in a space where there are no distractions. Try to give yourself the peace of mind of not having to think about other things. And I have a little bit of a delay. I don't know what's happening. Hold on a second. I may have to do this without the slideshow part of it. You'll just have to see my screen. There, okay, we'll do that. So the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to go through and do some teaching, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of time to do an exercise, right? We'll do that a few times so that you can really incorporate and integrate some of the things that I'll be teaching. Yeah. So the first thing I want you to do is write down what is your expectation? What do you want from today? What do you want to come out of this time together? What are you looking for? What are you looking for? So just take 30 seconds. Just take 30 seconds. What do you want? What do you want from this workshop? And if you can, put it in the chat. Let's see if I can put the chat on the side here. There we go. Rearrange everything. Okay, when we look at your life by design, think about it. You've gone through a lot of workshops, you've gone through a lot of classes, you've been educated in a lot of different ways, and you've gotten all of these different pieces. I'm pretty sure, if you were to look at all of your experiences through your life, through the decades, if you were to do an assessment or just an inventory of what are your skills, what are your talents, and what are the life experiences that have helped you to hone what you can do in the world. What are your values? What are your beliefs, your purpose, your mission, and your vision? I'm sure you've done something to look at all of these different pieces, right? And then to say, okay, I know all of this about myself. Where do I want to go and how do I want to get there? So you look at your path, you look at your SMART goals. When we do your life by design, we put it all together. You take all of these things because all of these things are you. All of these things create that which you can create in the world. It's the foundation of all of the expression that you have, that you will be doing from day to day. And so let's dive into where you want to go. Let me see. Okay, we're here. Goodness gracious, I do apologize. Okay, we'll go there. So, what we do in the Dreammaker Matrix is, this is not a religious or a spiritual confined matrix, blueprint. What we do is we acknowledge that everybody has connection to spirit, to the universe, to God, to Yahweh, to whatever you see as that organizing principle. Because we are not here alone. There are people, there are spirits. We are totally surrounded at all times with our spirit team. All we have to do is ask. Ask for what we want. Be clear on what you want. And the level of your clarity will give you the level of alignment with what shows up in your world. All right? So the first part of this matrix, which is the most important part because this is the one that never goes away, never goes away. It is your connection to your spirit team, your connection to the intuition that you have, the wisdom that you already have, right? You already have the wisdom. I am, if you're wondering, I am telling you now, you are a wise person. You showed up. You are looking for answers, and you are willing to do what is necessary to find those answers so that you can show up better in the world, in your work. So you have questions that are conundrums, you don't quite know, you're kind of stuck. How come things aren't working the way I want them to work? First place you go is you go within. You go within and you connect, right? So how can you connect? There are different ways that you can connect. Meditation is the one way that most people know nowadays. I would say 20 years ago, not as many people knew, but almost everybody is aware that meditation, or in some way creating that space where you can go inside and access the unknown, access the spirit, right? Access what is not physical, right? Go into meditation. So meditation is a space where you can create your intention, have a quiet space, quiet the noise of your mind, the noise of the world outside. Give yourself that time and space so that you can be honed and more on point for what you really want. You have to empty your mind of the chatter. That, I think, especially for beginning meditators, is the hardest thing. The hardest thing is to just quiet the mind. So I suggest that if your mind cannot quiet down, just start writing. Write down everything your mind is telling you. Just write. Just keep writing it. Do what I call a brain dump. Allow your mind to get still, to not have to manage all of these different pieces. You know, as women, we're always spinning a lot of plates in the air. We're always doing things for ourselves, for our families, for our significant other, for our businesses, for our work, for our employees. We're busy. And so to empty the mind of that chatter is allowing you to get the answers that you need, because all of that chatter is in the way, right? So one of the important things you need to do in order to have a very clear and concise mindset so that you can shoot the arrow and hit the mark is to empty the mind of all of that excess chatter. It's not that it's not necessary. It's not that it's not important. This is why we write it all down, so that we don't lose any of it. We can write it down and then later on look at it and say, okay, where are my priorities as it relates to my desires? All right, so this is a shift. This is a shift to make. The shift is, I am important. I am at the center of my world. I create. I co-create. I co-create with all that is. Right? When you come from that place of being a co-creator, you open up to all possibilities. You open up to more than what our little human minds can think of, right? So what I'm doing today is I'm helping you to access that space and to then focus it on your finances, okay? So meditation, get to the empty space, and then just listen. You have an intention. What is the question you have? So then listen for the answer. Other ways of communicating: journaling, doing art, the kind of art where you just lose track of time. You lose track of time. Some people are movement oriented, so you go and do dance. You just move. Sometimes you'll listen to music, or you'll make music and you'll get your answers. Or go out into nature. Going out into nature it allows you to access so much more oxygen and peace and a different pace of life that can help you to slow down mentally and physically so that you can access your answers. Sometimes you'll see repeating numbers. Those are, we call those the sacred numbers. Those are things where your angels are trying to give you messages. You can go ahead and Google them, search them online. What is the meaning of 1111? What is the meaning of 777? Just numbers that seem to repeat. So just pay attention to all of the things that show up in your world today. place? Are you doing the right thing? What is the next step? Okay. Now, as you are creating, you have to know your why. And I know you've heard this. Know your why. Do you know your why? And it's not just one why. It's two whys. It's your personal why. What are your personal reasons? What is your personal desire? Right? Why is it that you want to get up every single morning at 6 o'clock or earlier so that you can get to work by 8:30 and work for at least 8 hours and then have time to come home and have a nice meal and be with your family or your loved ones? Why do you do that? Why do you do it when you're feeling crappy? Right? What is your reason? Why are you doing this for you personally? And then because you're a leader, because you are in this room, your work affects other people, whether it's affecting just your family, or it affects your company, or it affects your community, or an entire country. Your work affects the world. So if you are co-creating, because you are, whether you're aware of it or not, we are now making you more conscious of that. When you are co-creating, understand that your work, your words, your actions ripple out to the rest of the world. So what is that impact that you want to have? Why do you want to make the change that you are making? Right? What is the impact you want to make? And why do you want to make that? What is so huge in your heart that is crying out and saying, this has to change? This can no longer be this way. I cannot live with this in this way in my life or in the world. There are so many things changing in the world right now. What do you want to affect? You can't affect all of it. So what area of the world do you want to have an effect on? And why? Okay, so here's your personal why, and there's your why for the world. Okay. So when you know what you feel strongly about, and sometimes we come to it backwards, sometimes we come to it as, what we really don't want, right? Instead of what we do want. When we're beginning this kind of work, we often start with what we don't want. And then we have to pivot and we think about, what do we want? What do I want to change? Which means it has to go away in some way or die in some way so that I can create at the same time. Change is that destruction and creation at the same time. So uncover, what is it that you feel strongly about? You probably already know. Write it down. Write it down right now. What are at least 3 things that you feel very strongly about what's happening in your life or what's happening in the world? Okay. When you know what you feel strongly about, then you can create your plan. What do you want to do and how do you want to do it? Right? What is your plan? How will you do this? And, we use SMART goals, right? The goals that allow you to create something that is achievable and reasonable so that you can win in that way. Okay. So I hope you have written down what are those things that you feel strongly about. Because now we're going to talk about the manifesting formula. This is how you take what you're inspired by or what is really on your mind that you want to affect change with, right? What is your intention, right? Take one of those things. And what is your intention? What do you want to see happen? right? What do you want to see change? What is that change? What is that end point that you want to experience, right? So that becomes your intention. Your intention is to create this thing, right? To create this change. So once you have your intention, you give it attention. Give it attention, even if it's just every day, you just think about it for 5 minutes and just listen to what are the ideas that come up. Give it attention by creating your plan. Give it attention by telling people, you know, I've been thinking about this and these are my thoughts about it. What do you think? Give it your attention and give it lovingly. Give it lovingly, because when you give it loving attention, then you are creating that atmosphere and environment for it to be able to grow and to propagate and to allow others to come and contribute to what you're doing. Because when you approach it with anger or frustration or any of those negative feelings, you repel people. You repel people, or you attract people who are also angry and you get stuck in the anger. I don't want you to do that. I would love to have you, be aware of what you are passionate about, what you feel absolutely has to change. And then think of it lovingly, because you are bringing the solution. You are making the change happen for the better, for the world. All right. So then think about, well, what are the actions that I have to take? So intention plus attention plus action. What are those actions that are aligned with what I need to do? Then you'll have your results. But it starts with the clarity of your intention. What do you want? What do you want? What is your dream? What is your vision? What is your vision? Allow yourself to have that. You know, in a really small way of thinking, you know, you're the captain of the ship. If the captain doesn't know where the destination is, he can't figure out how to get there, right? What's your destination? You are the captain of your ship. You are the queen of your queendom. How are you going to treat your people? What kind of experience are you going to allow to occur? So intention plus attention plus aligned action will give you the results, right? So once you know that, then you let go. Let go. Just keep doing what you're going to do every day. Keep it in mind. Then let it go, because then when you let it go, you allow the rest of the universe to meet you. You allow God, Goddess, Spirit, the universe, to provide, this is what she wants. Okay, we'll give her that. And hey, this is related to it, and this is related. Let's give it to her in broadband. What can she handle? What does she really want? Right? There is so much possibility that opens up when you let go of exactly how it has to be. This is why I encourage you, when you're looking at your vision, you're looking at your dream, focus on the qualities you want to experience. When you have reached that goal, when you are at the apex of your dream, how will you feel? What will your experience be like? How will you be living? What is your lifestyle? What is your day like? What's your home like? What are your interactions like? How does it feel to be you, alive in your dream? Right? So allow so much more to happen for you. I know that one time I was living in a place that was very small and cramped, and it was dark, and I really needed to have more space, more light. I needed to be able to breathe. I needed to feel calm and comfortable. And I knew that was what I wanted. And I focused on those qualities. I focused on being able to walk through the space with ease and comfort and be surrounded by beauty. And I looked for an apartment. And the first place I went to, they said, oh, we don't have that apartment anymore, but why don't you go to our sister property? I went to the sister property. I walked into this place. There was a water fountain in one place. There's a fitness center right across from the door. Walked into the room. There was so much light that flooded that space. So much light, so much space, so much more than I could have imagined. And the flow of the space walked right out to the patio. So I could watch sunsets every night. Now, did I think of that? No. I was just thinking, I need space, I need light, I need to feel comfortable. I need to be able to walk with ease, and I got it. So be clear. What do you want? And then let it go. Let the universe provide it for you. Just follow the clues. Walk through the doors. Answer the messages. Do your follow-up. Allow those things to come to you. And then open it to this or something better. That's like the magic phrase. This or something better. That opens the door to everything that's possible. So what happens? What happens? Your mindset gets in the way. Your mindset says, oh, well, no, she can't have that. You don't want that. Not really. It's going to be hard. You have to work hard in order to get what you want. You know, oh, it's going to be a challenge. They're going to be roadblocks. Oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine that these things could happen, right? Oh, I'm just going to go from point A to point B, and all of a sudden A1, A2, A3, A5, A12, they start coming up. What do you do? What do you do? You just work through them one by one, right? Right, you work through them one by one with everything that you know. Everything that you know. And you know, it can be a challenge because the roadblocks are there because you have something to clear. You have some lack of clarity. You have some ways of thinking, some limiting beliefs that say life has to be a struggle. You have to work hard to get what you want. You have to work hard before you can have a vacation or have some time to yourself. Well, what if that time never comes because you drop dead of a heart attack? Right? You don't want that. You want to be able to say that you want your life with ease and flow. You want to be able to say, okay, I'll work through my mindset things. What are those thoughts that come up? What are those programs that come up that I tell myself? And by telling myself, I then set the stage for that to occur. I accept it as true. When you start going into this space of being a co-creator, you must be aware of your mindset and your thoughts. Your thoughts are what create your reality. So it takes discipline. It takes discipline to be aware. Oh, okay, here's one. Okay. If I gave you $100,000 right now, and you have to spend it by the end of the day, what would you spend it on? What would you do? Okay, what was the first thought that came to your mind? Did you think, oh, where did this come from? Oh, I don't know. And what are some of the things that people say? What are some of the things, put in the chat, what are some of those thoughts that came up? Like, whose money is this anyway? Or do I deserve this money? Who am I to get $100,000 to spend whatever way I want in the next 12 hours? Who am I? Buy a house. Absolutely. You can do it in a day. Absolutely. Invest. Invest, yes. But what else would you do? What are the thoughts that came in? That's the question. What are the thoughts that came in? Right? Are your thoughts blocking you from being able to do what you're here to do? It's not a right or wrong. It is simply something that you have that is a part of you that needs to change. Right? So why can't you buy a house today? Why not? You know, I'm reminded of the story of the man who started with a paper clip. And he started to trade paper clip for something else. And then that something else for something else. And it kept going and going and going till he had a house. And he started with a paper clip. Who could have imagined such a thing? Right? So be aware, what are those obstacles that your mind is creating for you? And then check in with yourself. Is it true? Do I really still believe this? Do I really believe this is the way the world works? How do I want to believe? What is the higher way of thinking? What's the higher road I can travel that is for the betterment of all, including me? Because I'm here serving my purpose, right? How can you be supported in making this shift, right? Affirmations are one way, because affirmations help you to shift your mindset. They help you to focus on the other part, right? If you're looking at something negative, look at something positive instead. Allow your mind to expand into the positive, because when all we do is focus on the negative, when we focus just on the negative, we constrict, right? We close in. We get narrow-minded in a bad way, right? So when we have affirmations, we remind ourselves, oh, there is this positive way of thinking. There is this positive possibility. I am positive. I am, as opposed to what I am not. Right? Don't focus there. You can be aware of it. It comes up for a reason, perhaps to help you just to clear the thought, but also to help you uncover, well, where is my insecurity, or where do I feel that I'm not showing up 100% on my own? Why do you think it's showing up? And then create that affirmation. Create the affirmation that reinforces what you do want. And sometimes people use vision boards. You know, we use vision boards all the time because vision boards allow you to keep your mental focus with something physical. You know, because we can get stuck in the mind chatter. We can get stuck in that whole mental world and go round and round and round in circles and create all kinds of wonderful things. But it doesn't happen because we don't make it physical. Start to make it physical. A vision board starts to make your vision physical. It allows you to see, oh, that's what I want to experience. That's what I want to see. That's where I want to go. That's who I want to meet, right? Make it visible for yourself. Look at the big picture of your whole life. What do you want? What do you want? And then look at the small picture. Zero in. How do you want your mindset to be? How do you want your contribution to be? How do you want your connection to spirit to be? Right? Go into the detail of it so that when you are at that place of your vision and your dream, when you arrive, or as you are meeting your milestones, as you are on that path and you are able to accomplish going closer and closer, that you will be able to see and to celebrate, right? Celebration is something that we don't do. You should celebrate, because that tells your mind and tells the world, oh, she wants more. She wants more. Let's give her more of that. because it makes her happy. The universe is here simply to help us to become happy. How does happiness look for each of us? It's different. So they just help facilitate. So find out what makes you happy. What makes you happy? So with your mindset, you may spiral down into frustration, anger, overwhelm. With women, a lot of overwhelm, a lot of sadness and depression, right? You have to shift your state. You have to change and shift that energy. You can shift it by those things that we listed for connection, right? How do you do that? Through movement, through music, through art, through all of those different ways. How are you going to change your state, right? I mean, sometimes it's doing something physical, like going and get your hair cut. How I feel like a new person. I got my hair, right? Or just going out and dancing. You don't have to dance with anyone. Just listen to music that makes you happy and shift out of that negative state. Because when you shift that energy, you allow the juices to start flowing again. Okay? You allow them to start flowing again. I have a class coming up. Yeah, we're going to be doing that. So, this is important. This is important because when you know that you are in overwhelm, burnout, whatever that is that you're in, and you desire to shift your state, you are now taking the reins of being the co-creator. You're taking responsibility for your status, for your embodiment of the co-creator. This is really important because as a change maker in the world, as a leader in the world, you are not a victim. You are not at the whim of others. You are in control. You know that. So let's do this consciously. Let's do it consciously and shift the state in ways that you want. This is one of my most favorite sayings. This is from Howard Thurman, a philosopher. He said, don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive. And then go do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. When you are going for your dream, you're alive. And when you are doing that, everyone else around you says, I want some of that. And then they start doing their dreams, or they help you with your dreams. Think of all the juice that's flowing at that point, right? So wonderful. Because I did get some guidance from my spirit guides, and they said, you came into this life for a reason. Do not put yourself aside for others. This is the time of stepping back and sacrificing. Some people maybe need to do it, but know that it's temporary. You're doing it temporarily for a period of time because you need to have that experience, right? You need to have that experience, and then you will move on with the rest of your life. But in general, don't put yourself aside for others. Be right there at the front because you have a marvelous life to live. The world needs that. The world needs to see you thriving. So you have everything that you need. You have it all. You know what you need. You have the knowledge and education, or you know where to get it. You have the motivation. That's your why. You have a vision, and you're going to start fleshing it out even more. And then you're going to create a path. How do you get there? How do you get there? And what are you going to do when those little roadblocks come up, right? How are you going to gain guidance? Because you do have a marvelous life to live. I invite you to go out there and do what makes you come alive, because it really is time. It is time. We have been working for years and years and years gathering information, gathering experience, gathering energy, creating relationships, seeing what works and what doesn't work for us and for others. You have what you need. So now just choose. How do you want to focus all that energy that is you? What is that expression in the world that that you want people to say, oh, there she is. There she is. I've been looking for her. I know it's her because she's doing what she loves. I want some of that, right? You want to gather your people. So we're going to go into an exercise right now. I want you to take about 10 minutes. We'll just take 10 minutes. I need to do a time check here. Oops, what time is it? Okay, 12. Okay, good. 10 minutes. What are those qualities that you want to experience in your life? When you are living your dream, what is the work you're going to be doing? How will you be living? Who is around you? Not particular people, perhaps, but what type of person are you going to be and who will you be around, right? List those qualities that you want to experience. How will this be different from where you are now, right? How will it be different? And how will the changes that you have to make from here to there, how will those changes affect your world now? And if you can think of it, what are one or two things that need to shift right now so that you can move towards your vision? So let's take 10 minutes. Let's take 10 minutes and get that done. All right. That first part was the most important part, though. Okay, why don't we just get started then? All right, how was that for everyone? Did you get to write down all your thoughts? You can continue to do that. Yeah, you can continue to do that. A little bit later. Let's just go a little bit further now. All right, is everybody here? I can't see my window screen. I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. There we go. Finding all these. Yay. All right, we are back. All right, so your life by design. One very, very, very important part is your contribution. How do you show up in the world, right? How do you show up? What is it that you want to do? What do you want to be? Don't know what that is. So we start with what your talents and skills are. What are your talents and skills? Do an assessment really quickly. If someone were to ask you, you're in an interview, what are you talented at? And then what are your skills? What can you do, or what do you do that you can do without even thinking? What do people come to you for because you're the best at it? They know that you will always have the answer. You will know how or what to do. What are those things? What are those things that you bring in? Because this is the combination that's just you, right? It's a combination that's just you. And then look at your finances. When you know what those talents and skills are, then you can get compensated for it, right? You can get compensated for it because you are doing that which you are here and best at, right? So your finances, when you're looking at your finances, There are several different ways to look at it. One of them is, what is your compensation for your talents and skills, whether you are an employee or an employer or a business owner? How are you receiving back from the world value for the value that you give? The easiest way is, how are you getting money, right? How are you being paid? And what are you going to do with that money, right? How are you going to manage it so that it will flow into all areas of your life and support you in the life that you want to live? How are you managing your finances? How are you asking for the money? How do you know what your value is, right? How much are you worth to the world? How much will people pay to gain your wisdom, to get your skill, right? How much will people pay? How much do you want to do of that? How much time do you want to spend so that you can have the finances that you need? What is that number that you need every month? What is that number that you need net, after all taxes, after all expenses? What is that number that you want to have? Because that's the number that you're going to later on invest as part of managing your money. When you manage your money, what you're doing is you are telling the world, oh, she can manage it well. Let's give her more. Let her do more of what she does well. So, manage your money, even if it's just, okay, I got 25 cents today, right? $25 today, whatever it is. Start tracking it. Track the value that comes into your life every day. And then decide. See, that gives you the ability to create, because you now get to decide, what am I going to do with this money? And I hope you put some of it aside for you, for the future. People call it savings. Others call it your financial freedom. What is it that you're going to do to put aside for you, for your future? Use the rest of it for your expenses and fun. Enjoy it. Put some fun in there, right? What are your finances? And then how do you show up in the world contributing your skills and talents and receiving value? What does that look like? When it all coalesces, when you understand what the energy is that you bring and the energy is that you want to receive back, what is that arena that you want to play in? Your work or your business? Your creative expression. This is who I am. This is what I bring to the world. I'm going to do it in this format, right? What is that for you? And then turn around, because you're going to have money coming in and you're going to have extra. How are you going to invest it? How are you going to invest it so it throws money off for you and your future? It throws money off for your legacy. It throws money off so that you can give it to others. Invest in others' dreams. Invest in helping the world, especially those who cannot help themselves. Right? How are you going to handle your investments? Right? So, and then what is your community work, whether it's paid or not paid? You must give back. You must contribute to the world some of your energy that isn't related immediately to your money. Really, what is that work that you want to put out there to contribute to your community, to make the world a better place? And then eventually, the larger world, how are you giving back? And what is that impact you want to make? As you continue to grow and build, and snowball effect of all of that creates the impact that you are able to have in the world, the amount of giving that you can handle, right? How much is the universe giving to you because you can handle it? You can handle it. So I want you to take 5 minutes, just 3 or 4 minutes. Write down those things really quickly. Talents and skills. What are your talents and skills? What are your talents and skills? Finances. How much do you want at the end of the day, at the end of the month? How much do you want? Make it concrete. Make it a number that is doable this month. And then you can think a year from now, if I look forward a year, by then I want to be making X amount per month. But right now for the end, let's say the end of April, what do you want by the end of April? So that you can start to plan, right? And start to commit. What is it you want to do as your work or as your business? What do you want to focus on there? How do you want to contribute? How do you want your work to be a contribution to the world? And what do you want to be able to invest in? What community work do you want to eventually be able to do if you aren't already doing it? And ultimately, what is that impact you want to have? So just take 3 or 4 minutes. We are at 12:13. Let's do it till 12:17. Whew, gonna be tight. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you create, even start, when you really say, don't really have a starting point, support systems, be that, financial or people or things that you need? How do you start from, say, where you are? How do you start and move forward with your life?
The first thing you have to do is just look at where are you now? Where are you now? Right? So if we're looking at this contribution, where am I right now? What are my talents and skills? Right? You have to know what is it that you have as resource for yourself. And then you can jump off from there, right? But first you have to look at, do your self-assessment. Where am I? What do I bring to the table? What is valuable to others? Right? And what do I want to accomplish for myself? Right? When you have that in mind, then you are already mentally opening the doors. You've come to the restaurant in the sky and said, okay, this is what I want. This is what I have, and I want to have this other stuff, right? But the restaurant in the sky needs to know, do you want dinner or do you want filet mignon? Right? Need to be clear. Need to have a clear idea of what you want to receive back. And that's why your vision is so important. So, but you start with, where am I now? And then you can vision, where do you want to be? So when we were talking about finances, where am I now? How much am I making? By the end of next month, what do I want? By the end of the year, what do I want? See, but you have to see, where am I now? And there are no judgments. It just is what is, right? This is where you've landed because of everything that happened before and all the decisions that were made before. And when we can accept responsibility for all of that, all the floodgates open up, because all of a sudden you're a co-creator. It's like, oh, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it does. And I guess I have another question to that. So often we go through these different exercises and we do vision boards. Mm-hmm. And is there an exercise that does an assessment? Even a coming together and we do an assessment board.
Well,
because we write the visions, mm-hmm. and that's like the big picture. But mm-hmm. Like you said, many people, they get stuck because they're sitting there looking at the vision. I want to have millions of dollars to invest. I want to be this mogul, this movie mogul. All these different ideas. I want to have this big house, get married, have a good business, big business. And then they put all these pictures up on the board and all these different things like that. And they, write up their little mission and vision statements or what have you. But a aside from having done any type of an assessment of where you are, a true assessment,
Mhm.
are there any type of places that you can go and that you can actually get those assessments or have those do that?
Well, there probably are. I don't know any to tell you the truth. I just know that at Dreammaker, we do that with you. We help you to walk through this analysis for yourself, because it's not a where am I in relation to everybody else. It's really where am I? Where am
Right.
I? Right? Because that's all that matters, really. I mean, all that matters is that you are crystal clear about you. And yeah, so that's what we help people do. When we do when we go through their Dreammaker Matrix, right? We do, I have a workshop that's coming up actually Saturday. We're doing one Saturday, and then there's another one next month. Where we do it for one day, and we go through this entire thing, all 5 areas. We go all 6 deep, and you get crystal clear, really clear, really clear. And we open up all of those doors and boxes so that it can, whatever it is that wants to show up in your life right now, you can become open to, right? But until you know, or at least start. You may not know, well, what do I want to invest in? You may not know, but we're opening that door. Oh, I should think about investing, right? So we're opening that door. You may not do it right now, but you may do it a lot sooner than you think now that you've opened the door, right? And understanding how all of these things flow, right? Talents and skills go to finances, which help you figure out your work in your business, which throws off your investments, which allows you to do your community work and have your impact in the world.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for asking. Okay, let's see. I have 10 more minutes. All right, let's see what we can get to. So, exactly what I was being asked. How do you put it all together? You look at your experience. You look at your matrix. Right now, you know 2 parts of it, 2.5. You look at what are your skills and talents and the things that are interesting to you. You look at your values and beliefs. You look at your purpose, your mission, your vision. Why am I here? You create your path with your SMART goals. See, that is the next part, right? Now that you know who you are and what you want, what do you want, and how do you want to get there? And how can you make it accomplishable, right? You do it with SMART goals. Do it with SMART goals, but the SMART goals are there because it's helping you to hone in with detail that bigger vision, right? The big vision, how do I make it happen? Your SMART goals to create your path. Then you access your spirit connection in the manifesting process, right? Just keep all this moving and you are consciously creating. You keep your focus and you're open to resources to what will come to you to help you manifest and create that dream. Right? Be open to what will come to you. Walk through those doors, answer those calls, follow up on that name that was given to you out of the blue. And then you're putting it all together. That's how you put it all together, and you gain support. You gain support of those who have similar vision, or of those who have already been there, right? You don't have to make a whole new trail, right? Find someone who's been where you want to be and learn from them. Have them guide you, right? Guide you. Know clearly what is your dream. What is your vision for your life? What is significantly, my friend Sonia Levy stated, what's your desired state that is significantly better than your current state? Significantly better. Think as big as you can, because the universe knows even bigger. But think as big as you can. Make it as good as you can, and it will start to unfold. So where's your sweet spot? Right? How do you put it all together? The passions and values and the problems that are out there in the world to solve, and what you bring as skills, talents, and experience, where that intersects, that's where you work. That's where you put your effort. That's where you are meant to be working in the world, right? So remember the manifesting formula. You have your intention, which is your vision. It's your goals. You give it attention, you put aligned action, you will get your desired results. It is law. It is spiritual law. That is how it works. Use the vision board to help you focus your mindset every day. However, you want it to happen fast, focus on it every day. But even if you just focus on it for one day, in the day that you're creating it, even if you focus on it for one day and you forget all about it, and then you find it a year or 2 or 3 later, you will be amazed at how much of it will already be true. Because you have started your mind and your creating process. Those juices are moving. You've put your order into the restaurant in the sky. And they're like, okay, let's give it to her. Let's give it to her. All right. That's why the discipline of keeping positive with your mindset is so key, right? Communicate with your spiritual team every single day. Every single day. Connect at least once. Ideally, first thing in the day. Then let go. Say, this is what I want. This is what I want to experience today or in my life. Then let it go. Let it occur. Allow it to come to you. You now are the magnet for that. Allow it to come to you. Allow this or something better, right? Access information in all of these ways: meditation, journaling, art, dance, music, nature. See the repeating numbers, pay attention to those signs, and just listen. Listen to the answers and the messages that you're being given, and then act on them. Act on them, because the most important question that you can answer for yourself is, what do I want? What do I want for me and for the world? What do I want? Answer that for yourself. And then figure out a way to make it happen. What are your goals? How do you want to get there, right? We look at SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, right? You can go and search that online. It's everywhere. SMART goals. Make sure that these are achievable. Make sure that you're not holding yourself in, but you are making the path walkable, right? Look at your goals. Don't go any further out than 3 years, because things change so quickly. Go at the most 3 years, but then come inwards. In 1 year, where do you want to be? In 6 months, where do you want to be? 3 months, where do you want to be? 1 month, where do you want to be? Where do you want to be next week? Right? All in alignment with where do you want to be ultimately. Right? Know your personal why. Know your contribution. Why do you want to do what you do? Why do you want to give back? And then your big life why. What is the legacy? What is the impact that you want to make? And then the most powerful question you can ask after that is, who do you know, right? Use other people's energy. Use other people as resource. Engage them. Help them contribute to your thriving. Open to that. Open to get help, right? Open to being met by others, because your dream is important. You know, who do you know? Get your focused support. There are mentors everywhere. You can contact me, but focus support everywhere to help you move forward in where you want to go, because they will share whatever wisdom that they have. That's why they're there. What else are we going to do with all this knowledge that we have? We have to give it back and guide others, because you're going into new territory. You don't know where you're going. You don't know where the roadblocks are. You don't know what the problems are and what to do and how to leverage. What's the easy way to leverage, right? And then where is that safe space to share your journey? Find people of like mind who can support you and cheer you on and say, hey, you know what? I think you might be going in the wrong direction. Check this out, right? Who can support you? Support you. Create that for yourself, because that is the environment, your creation environment. So who do you know in your family? Who do you know in your friends and coworkers, supervisors, bosses, mentors, teachers? Who are the people that you are going to gather around you to help you move forward in your dreams? It's important because now you are co-creating, and all of them will be helping you. They are there because they want you to have your dreams. Your mindset, your level of clarity, your ability to communicate and bring the word from mind into the mouth and out into the world so that it can help you create. Clarity is so important. Clarity, internal connection, your ability to communicate with yourself, right? There's that self-talk. There are those limiting beliefs. The ability to clear that stuff out mindfully, with discipline and with love and compassion, will help you to move forward. And the more you get clear, the faster that path will go. The faster you can get on that path, and you will just slide on down. It happens so quickly. It's amazing. It is amazing what will show up for you. And I am so happy to know that these will be coming for you. So I want you to not ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, because we want you. We want you to come alive and to be doing that work, doing that which you love, living that dream that you're here to live. Thank you. If anyone wants to contact me, my name is Bailan Mahino. You can contact me at bailan@globaldreammakers.com. And you can go to globaldreammakers.com and find out what we're doing. We've got a podcast, we've got workshops, I do talks, and I work with people. So would love to connect with you. Does anyone have any questions? Is there, Yvonne, do you have the link for the masterclass replay? You're welcome, Rishti. You're welcome. Thank you for coming. And Yvonne, people who have registered, will they be getting the replay? Believe you. You're welcome. You're very welcome, Shirley. You're welcome, Rishti. Thank you for coming. Here's the link for the replays. https://bit.ly, bit.ly/, and this is all in caps, UNCSW 65 WLCN. So that's where you can get all the replays. So https://bit.ly/UNCSW 65 WLCN.
And
Exciting.
when you go there, ladies, you will be able to register. It's free. And that is the other part of the masterclass. And then all of the other speakers, you will be able to get the replays for theirs. And then they have new ones that are upcoming. So you will be able to go there. And that's what I had mentioned earlier at the beginning. That's the actual link that will take you there. So we look forward to you coming, and joining in on some of the other talks. There are different times, across the board. And this is so very happy. And like Bailan says, you take advantage of those people and you bring on people who are good and experts in their field, Bailan being one of them. And so it is a very good offset. I didn't have to do this one today, at this time. So I was able to at least take a little bit of a rest, but definitely make certain that you are doing you. That's really what this is all about. You must do you, and you must show up in the world and show up in a big way. So the world is waiting on you, and you're waiting on you. Okay? So we want to see you there, all of you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay? So
All
it's
right.
it's 3:34. So ladies, I want to thank you, and we're going to end this session
Mhm.
now at 3:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time in the East Coast of the United States. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Yvonne.